It's the 4th of July night, so all those pops and bangs you're hearing are gonna be firecrackers. We have somebody that seems to have M50s or M80s in the neighborhood, so if one of those goes off, I'm gonna jump high to heck. Camera will be all shaky for a second. You know how it is. Right? But right now it's just little pop bangs. Really nice sunset too. I just tried to de-stress today. Didn't do too much. The orange-red ones are blooming of the lilies now. And the light yellows are there and there. The white ones are totally done. And I think I'm going to go ahead and deadhead what I remember to do. This is deadheading, which is picking the seed pods off. At least a few more here. I'm going to guess these are probably the same red-orange. And here's the white ones. They're done. They smell really good. I also like how the seed pods are starting to form on these of the milkweed. Still haven't seen any monarch caterpillars, which is weird. The last 2 years I had tons of them. But they're still blooming fresh and new over here, so it's just like, you know, unfurling, I suppose. I did a lot of, oh, we got little soldier flies in here. I found out that this is basically vermicompost at this point, because I went to dig some compost at the bottom, and I just got like a ball of worms like that big, which was great. Put them back in, obviously. And, trying to rinse out a pot. Ignore me. Bottom soaking some new transplants and trying to get watered in some new transplants. The honey locusts were getting just a little bit too ready to go because I had like 8 in the same tiny little pot about that size. So it's good to have them divided out, and then I potted up some black cherry, a couple of the red buds. I have some red buds that are actually in ground over there, and I'm wondering how big I can let them get before I have to move them, or they become like a permanent part of the bed. Not sure. If you have experience with that, let me know. But do really want to get this planted in. You can see there's a lot more empty space in the drainage ditch there. And by drainage ditch, I mean swale. Because all the edges are higher than where the water goes in there. So it's to capture and sink the water into the elderberry patch, because elderberries love water, especially our native ones. For the northeast up here, these are ones I captured out of a probably 100 to 1,000-year-old patch of them up in Katanning. And they survived right up along a creek. They liked the water a lot. Got something really concerning happening over here. I did get the one groundhog, but there's 2 of them. And I was over here trying to like get a weed, and my foot sunk right in. So I'm a little worried about my stairwell right now, and not sure how I'm going to protect it, except to kill the other groundhog and hopefully backfill those with like cat litter or something. Something that'll be stinky enough to keep the animals away longer than usual. A friend of mine sent me a picture of some panels that are like just wire grids that I could hammer in alongside my shed. Strongly considering that. Tractor Supply sells them, but Tractor Supply is like 13 miles away, And I still don't have a car. Not sure when I will. But I don't right now. I moved at least some of the transplanted trees down in there. So we'll go look down the back here. Oops, sorry, I think I'm shaking a little. It happens, I suppose. Oh, look, the buffalo currant is actually coming ripe. I had one yesterday. Nice, huh? These are the true edible lilies, also known as ditch lilies. And I've just got them growing in my French drain rock. This echinacea is doing great. It's the only echinacea that isn't getting completely eaten up by that groundhog. Another pastel yellow lily blooming down there. Little bit of lupine coming up there, but nothing else in this zone. I think this stuff, the Joe Pie, I think it's going to bloom pretty soon. It's looking good. And I think I need to pick some seeds off of the lovage here again. As of right now, my sunchoke is still upright, but because it only gets afternoon sun, it ends up leaning real hard and completely blocking this sidewalk eventually. I do not yet have a solution to that concern. The wood anemone is blooming, look! Oops, I'm having trouble here. Sorry, there's a lot in the way of showing you this. Aw, that's nice. That's a native plant. No particular use to it. I gotta do another big harvest of rhubarb. Look at these. Those are amazing. Whole row of that. A little bit of sweet peas. It's been a drought for a hot minute here. Like, it's barely rained in 2 weeks now. Luckily, my sweet peas are still kicking. I don't know how. Probably because I don't till. And I have very fungal life, rich soil. But most things are doing fine. But the front yard, where it gets the longest intense all-day sun, is not doing fine. Look at how well my Saskatoon patch of the sale-ready Saskatoon patch is doing really, really well. And that little elderberry down here is really hoping that'll grow super fast and just fill in this space. And this little, these are both native hazelnuts. I think it's Coryllis. That's coming up real well too. I watered that like crazy to get it going, so I'm glad that it did get going. As usual, I have a bunch of parsnips going to seed. I get more seeds than I get parsnips. I'm gonna have to get some actual, like, cultivated properly parsnips again soon. This is the pear I want to move. The apple's got a few apples on it, but not a whole bunch. It bloomed real well, though, so it was more just like a fruit set problem. I think I see a good 10 this year. That's nice. They come ripe in late September, early October, so that's gonna be a minute before they're ready. Oops, I have something stuck on my foot. Oh, some of the sidewalk liners coming up. I do want to take a bunch of the heads off the walking onions and get them planted up in saleable pots. Just as is, like an entire cluster. I think that'll be nice. But it's a pretty beautiful day, I think. Happy about it. Now that the sun's going down, I'm not sure. I might try and poke at the bicycle again, or I might just try and get some sleep. But I do have permission to take off early to get to the bank on Monday. What was that blink? You saw that. I guess it must have probably been fireworks, too. So the thing about living on a cliffside is you get to see everybody's podunkety little backyard displays. It's nice. I'm not complaining one bit about what it's like to live on a cliffside up here like this. Well, that's a little bit of sparkle over there. Yep, so I may work on the bicycle. I may just sit and watch the displays that people come up with. Get another one of these up. This is that awful Tree of Heaven stuff. They're going to seed again. That's I just found out that they're I think it's called dioecious, which means they could have a boy and a girl. It's not like it can't produce seeds on its own. It has to have one of each around. But unfortunately, that big one right there is definitely a seed producer. So that kind of, honestly, that sucks. But what can you do? Really want to get down there and take care of it, but I'm terrified because it's right up on the edge of the cliff. Like the cliff. Yuck. There you go. There's some fireworks. I don't think we're going to have an official display at all this year. What with the concerns over the virus going around. Don't think we'll have an official display. But I think a lot of people are going to be doing it from their backyards. So there will be plenty to see in that way. Yeah. Sun's going down. Got at least some of these sunk down into the ground, down over the cliff there. A few more trees in the ground. They're all watered in real good at the very least, too, so that helps. Thinking about where I'm going to put this precocious sumac in, because I really want to have some of this growing down there. And I got another section of retainer wall started today, too. We can go look at that, I suppose. Amidst the fireworks. Folks, you're a little early. Wouldn't you want to wait till it's dark? Guess not. Pretty concerned about my tire stairs right here. But, I guess we're in the so far so good category of that. It's weird how it gets so much darker down here, isn't it? Isn't that weird? Yeah, so newly placed in the ground is this elderberry and all of that. And then there's all the more up top. Definitely have more trees and bushes this year than I have before. I'm hoping they'll fill in well. I'm having enough trouble producing enough soil that I think I am going to have to start bringing in inputs, whether that just be municipal leaf mold or if it's like an actual load of topsoil. I don't know, but I'm noticing that I do not have enough materials to really keep up with if I was going to be doing full scale and like at a farmer's market and stuff like that, so. Yeah. I guess we'll find out, but hey, look, there's the moon. Right there. It's shrouded in clouds, but it might clear. Alright, well, I'm excited you got to see the moonrise just like me. I didn't know when the moonrise was supposed to be. And, a few fireworks and everything. It's good stuff. So, yeah, hope you're having a good one. I hope that you're safe and healthy and doing well. I'll have something pop up at the end if you want to watch something else. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, or dig through a bunch of my videos. Whatever you want to do is great. And I appreciate you being here. Take care. Bye.